Hey guys, it's Ken here from shop3d.ca. Welcome to another webinar. Today we're going to be talking about one of the hidden gems of the Shop3D showroom, and that of course is the Raise3D E2 and E2CF. Now, this printer has been in our showroom for a while, but not a lot of people know that the E stands for education. So my team is going to take you through why this printer is going to be a great choice for colleges, universities, and libraries. So let's get to it.
Hi, I'm Michael from Shop3D, and today I'm here to talk to you about Raise3D's E2 series of printers. For those of you who don't know, Raise3D is a company that specializes in large format FFF 3D printers and has been around since 2014. What I have here today is the Raise3D E2 printer, which is an IDEX printer. IDEX, or independent dual extrusion printers, are super cool because the two print heads can move independently along the x-axis. If we go ahead, you can access the printer through either the front door or the lid that opens up at the top. And here we can see the two independent extruders that can move separately along the axis here. What this enables is not only the normal dual extrusion advantages, namely being able to print two materials at the same time, but it also allows you to print mirror or duplicate copies of the same object. The build plate inside gives you a build volume of 330 by 240 by 240 millimeters, so quite a decent build volume. The plate is also flexible, making it easy to release your parts. Both of the heads can reach a temperature of up to 300 degrees, and the bed is capable of reaching 110 degrees Celsius as well. If we go around to the sides, we have a compartment on this side and same on the other for the filaments for each of the heads. It also features great quality of life features like a built-in webcam at the front and behind here, filament runout detection, auto bed leveling, and power loss recovery. To start prints, you can use either the USB headers on the top here and use the interface through the touchscreen, or you can start prints remotely through their Slicer Idea Maker, as it has Wi-Fi connectivity and also an Ethernet port on the back. The E2 is also great for educational institutions as it's fully enclosed with a HEPA air filter, has great automation features, and also has a wide range of materials. While we don't have it in front of us here, there's also the E2CF, which is the other printer in the E2 series. It's essentially an upgraded E2 specializing in printing carbon fiber filaments, which makes it a great competition for something like the Mark Forged Mark II. Some of the carbon fiber filaments that it's compatible with are Raise3D's own PPA-CF, as well as PET-CF. Raise3D actually offers many different filaments, such as the ones you're probably used to, like PLA, ABS, and PETG, but also some more exotic ones like polycarbonate and the PPA-CF I just mentioned. In addition, Raise3D also has an open filaments program, making it easy to print third-party materials with print profiles and not have to worry about fiddling with any of the settings. I hope that's given you a good overview of the E2 series of printers. Next up is Pooja with the product demonstration.
Hi everyone, this is Pooja from Shop3D. So today I'm going to be presenting a demo on the E2 printer. Before I start with any printing, I just come to the software first and want all the details or anything that I want to tweak around the software part, do here first, and then I go to the printer. So I am here with the Idea Maker, the latest version installed, and I'm going to be showing you how I quickly print the any samples that I want to do very quickly in the duplicate or the mirror mode. So let's go. So in the Idea Maker here, you will see this is the software, this is the latest version. You will see all these views on the top, but before that let's grab the model that I want to print today. So I'm taking the Charmander, open it. So once I have opened it, so you will see the file has been imported. So this is the one which I'm going to be printing today. Here you can move the object, rotate it, keep or the orientations according to you, and if there are any supports required, or if it is a very intricate part, then you can also use the support, and if there is any if you want to increase the scale of the model, then you can do that as well by selecting any of the orientations like XYZ axis. So once you have selected this one and everything looks good, now you come to the actual settings. We'll go into the print profiles. So here I have selected the E2 printer, and also these are the other options. So the Raise3D E2, this one is a default one which has the 0.4 mm nozzles, and then here as I am showing you the duplication mode today, so I'll be using both the left as well as the right extruder. So here it has all the pre-installed print profiles from the Raise3D already. So I have selected the premium PLA, and this is the left, and the right extruder here again premium PLA. So if you want something, if you want to print off brand that you want to try it out, then here you can come into the templates, go to more, import the OFP, that is like other options that you can print with the printer. So here you will see all the other options. So for example, let's take an ESN. So you can select ESN and then next. So here you will see all the print profiles that are available for the ESN material. So just in case if you're printing with ESN PLA Plus, just select it, download it. So this will be downloaded both to the local folder as well as to the Idea Maker. So here when you press import to the Idea Maker, you can see this is the template name, and this is for the printer E2 and for the 0.4 mm, and if you would like, you can change the naming of this one or keep it as default, and then click OK. So once you click OK, so you will see here that has been generated, and also once you go over here in the print profiles on the left side, you can see the ESN PLA Plus has been also created. As I am using the standard Raise3D Premium PLA, so I am going to just stick with the default settings, and the template will be the standard or the high speed, the speed or the high quality. So I am going to be printing again with the standard, and if you want to change the tweak little bit setting print profiles, then here you can come down, like select the quality, the shells or the infill density as well. So you can change it to any of the percentage that you would like. And if you want more detailed one, so here in the gear option, the advanced setting, it's a gear icon. So here you will see all the options that are available, such as the quality, extruder, infill, temperatures, support, whatever you want to change, you can change here. For example, if you're changing this infill here, so the infill density for 15%, so you will see that you have changed it, and it also gives you a warning message saying that you have changed it. So also if when you want to go back to the default, so you can just reset it. And also if you hover on the infill density, so it also shows the what actual this detail is, and also it will take you the more information page where you can see what actual this infill density can do into your print. Okay, so once we have done that, selected everything looks good. Here is the last option where you will see the mode that you want to print. So I was saying about the duplication mode. So duplicate is like it will create two prints over here. So you can change this the orientation of this one, and the duplication the mirror mode is the opposite of it. Duplicate, then slice. Do you want to enable the raft? Yeah, so if you think the profile or the print need to be printed with the raft, yes, you can just say yes. So it's processing now. It's So once it's processed, so we can close this one, it will be in the side, and let's come here and do the auto arrange. So it will be automatically built to the our build plate. And once you have done slicing, yes, okay. So once you have done the slicing, everything looks good to you, then you can come and see a preview mode here. In the preview mode, you can see all the layers that has been printed and the time that it's going to be taking and the grams or the material filament. So it says it takes 14 grams, 14.6 grams for each. And here in the extruders, you can see with the color extruder. So the left one is the white and the right one is the orangish color. So once you have everything is done, and if you want to start the print, here you have the option to save it locally, or you can upload it directly to the printer which is been connected via Wi-Fi or the same network, and also you can upload it to the Raise3D cloud. So you have three options. So once you come here to upload the print, you can see here the file name, and then here you will see all the printers that are available on this network. So now I'm going to be selecting the E2, and then everything looks good, then you can press upload. So before I press upload, I want to show you how I do the quick setup on the printer. So here, as I was talking about, you will have the three options. So you can come here in the print. So this one is the local drive, so you can use the USB stick to print, or the through the wireless. So here you would need to enable the Wi-Fi connections. So you have the Ethernet, so that has been already activated and have been already connected, and the another one is the LAN mode. So it also has the Ethernet port at the back, so you can also use it on the same local network. And here is the camera. So you can turn it on and you can see or live monitor it through your laptop. Okay. And before that is the loading of the materials. So in the left and right extruder, they have this holders here on the left and right side. So I have loaded both the filaments, and I also need to check before printing if my build plate is clean. So I'm going to take it out and see everything looks good. So I'm going to put it back. See if there are any residues of the prints or anything, you want to make sure you clean that. Okay. So everything looks good. So now I go back to the software and press upload. So here you will see in the queue that it is been uploaded. So once it is uploaded, again you need to come back to the printer, go to the print in the uploading queue. So you can see my the file which I wanted to print, and then you can just say print. So the print has started. So this is the same time that was showing estimate time on the software as well. So it takes 1 hour and 59 minutes to print on duplication mode. So I have turned on the camera. So I'll show you here how can you see it on the camera as well, like do a live monitor. So you come to the connections, remote connections, go to your printer, E2, and then you can see all the details here, and in the camera can turn on and you can see the how the process is being, what's the status of the print that has been started. Because it takes a lot of time, so I have done a quick print this was what I have done. So this is the dragons I have printed in the duplicate mode, and this is how they came out. So if it was an mirror mode, it would be an either the other side, like the flip of the other side of the dragon. So this was the demonstration on the E2 printer. Up next, I'll be talking about the application that I personally worked with the E2 printer. So I have a colleague who is very much interested in printing his own custom insole. So as we have the E2 printers and the IDEX with it, I was thinking, why not let's give it a try to print our own custom insoles from my colleague. So I did a quite research and found out that the traditional orthotics can often lead to patient discomfort and health issues due to the limitations of the standard and one size fits solutions. The only remedy for this one is to do your own customizable insoles, which is very time consuming and also very expensive. So as you know, the 3D printing has evolved over the years, and we have the access of the printers, and you all know how easy it is to print any customizable or the highly personalized items such as custom insoles. And it is very easy to print, the lead time is very less, and also you will have very less efforts to print any of your custom items. So and also this will help the my colleague in better performance and also increases the correctness of his posture. So let's get into the process how I did it. Step 1, I scanned my colleague's foot with the Shining 3D H2 scanner, which is specifically meant for scanning humans. Exported the file to an software or the software called Mesh Mixture, or you can also use something called Fit 360 if I'm not wrong. So what you can do is like quickly import the scanned document into the software, and you can do the whole insole of the foot, or you can just concentrate on the ankle part, which I did. That is also called as AFO in orthotics, and I did this one. So this was my first design. As you can see, it is not as neat as it should be. I wanted to focus only on the ankle side because to increase or to maintain the posture. So I also did a little bit of tweaking in the CAD, and I found this would be an efficient or the good way, and also it depends upon your design, how neat, so that it becomes very comfortable. Lastly, why I selected E2 printer is E2 printer because of its IDEX capabilities has the independent dual extruders can print the variety of the materials like from the basic PLA to the advanced material, and also the TPU is a great option to print with the E2 printer. It can do the two extruders can print something like this, one with the PLA material and another with the TPU. You can see the quality of the print. Because of the IDEX, it does not mix the materials, avoids or prevents the cross contamination of the material, giving you a very cleaner and neat finish, and also the high quality items such as like this. So finally, I printed using the single mode first, just to test out on the foot, and then I did a mirror mode as well, so that if you want to print something like a left foot as well as a right foot, then you can do using the mirror mode. But if you want to specifically do for both the two legs, then you can just do individual scans and then print the individual for specific foot. So this was my experience with the E2 printing custom insoles for my colleague, and I loved working on this project. If you already have a E2 printer and never printed any TPU material, I would recommend you to try it on. And if you do not have, feel free to reach out to us at shop3d.ca website. I would be happy to assist you with any of the questions you may have on the TPU printing or on the E2 printer. I would be happy to assist you. Up next is Cha, who will be presenting you the best practices on the E2 printer.
Hey guys, thanks for joining me. My name is Cha. I work in the technical department here at shop3d.ca. Today we're going to talk a little bit about best practices when we're using the E2. So the E2 is a very capable printer. What I mean by that is the E2 is capable of printing a wide variety of materials, anywhere between your PLA plastics to PETG, ABS, polycarbonate. And it's also something I highly recommend for people that are printing more flexible filaments like TPU 95A or 84A or other types of TPU, TPE plastics. Part of the best practices, the first thing I'll say is when you're printing with PLA, so that's a fairly common 3D printing material. Printing with PLA, I do recommend to leave the top open. And the reason is because this way you will minimize heat creep on the hot end side. And that will make it make your prints more successful. The next thing is I'll talk about are when you're printing with higher build plate temperature materials. So nylon, PETG, ABS, or carbon fiber infused materials. Generally, these materials will require the build plate to heat up to temperatures as high as 110 degrees. And because the build plate is heat up to that temperature, the adhesive that's holding the build tack onto the build plate can be compromised. So in order to relieve some of that stress, what I recommend is allow the build plate to cool down to room temperature for a long duration of period after the print is completed. And what this will allow is for the adhesive to rest before you take your part off, which will put a force on that adhesive. And that is the best way to protect the longevity of the build plate. The next thing I'll talk about is cleanup of the build plate. So what I like to use is 99% IPA alcohol and some paper towel. So after I've taken the print off, I will clean the build plate surface to ensure that my hand oil is not on the surface before I start the next print. The next thing I'll talk about is magic glue. Now this, I think some of the people in the 3D printing space is very familiar with. This is sort of our go-to when we're printing with higher temperature materials like ABS or PETG or even some cases certain rare PLA stuff. It just ensures that the print stays onto the build plate. I find it to be a very sort of one solution for all to when it comes to 3D printing with different materials. Okay. The next thing I'll talk about is because of the fact that the E2 is capable printing in a variety of materials, sometimes you're changing materials. You might be printing ABS and then you want to print with PLA, or you want to print with elastic filament. And when you're switching between materials, sometimes some of the residual material from the previous print might stay in your print head. And so this is why I would recommend using something like the eSun cleaning filament. This filament is basically, we use it as a purge. And basically what we do is we'll load this filament into the machine with the load function and allow this filament to purge the excess material that's in the hot end, usually for about 10-15 seconds, until we see that the extrusion is clear. And that'll let us know most of the material's out of the hot end, and then we'll unload this and then load the actual material that we want to print with. This will help with minimizing any cross-contamination between different materials that you're using, okay? So I do this a lot, usually when I'm going from like, I was printing ABS, now I'm printing PLA. I've printed with, some type of nylon material, now I'm printing with PETG material, right? I'll do the purge. The next thing I'll talk about is elastic filament. Now, I have this odd setup here. This is eSun's 95A material, which is a flexible material, right? And you can see here. And you see I have it set up sort of just above the print head. And this is basically me side loading the material into the system. The reason why I do this is the E2 comes with materials that you can load into the machine itself. It has housing for spools internally in this printer. But what I find is if I'm printing with elastic filament, as the filaments sort of travel through these tubes, there's a little bit of friction, and that may cause extrusion, under extrusion during the print. So in order to avoid the under extrusion when I'm printing with elastic filament, I would just side load the filament. I will take the tubes out of the print head and then load the filament directly into the print head. And this way it will minimize any sort of friction or restriction travel of the elastic filament into the printer. Next, we're going to talk about duplication mode and mirror mode. So, duplication mode and mirror mode are one of the primary benefits of the IDEX 3D printer system, because it allows you to essentially cut your print time down by half by printing two objects in the same time period that you will print a single object. With that said, I'm going to show you a little bit on how we set up for duplication mode in Idea Maker. So you see here, I have the object selected. This is the object that I dropped into Idea Maker. This is going to be the object that I want to duplicate, because this is a shelf and I want to make multiple of these shelves, right? And so over here, you're going to see, I'm going to click on this, and right down here, you're going to see duplication mode. Now, you're going to notice that the materials I've selected are PLA. Some of the materials that I've used in duplication mode are PLA, PETG, and ABS. These I find are very beneficial when I'm using duplication mode, as well as TPU95A. We can do that in duplication mode as well. Keep in mind, you cannot do different types of materials. The materials has to be the same, but they can be different. So, PETG loaded on both sides, PLA loaded on both sides, ABS loaded on both sides, etc. Once I have duplication mode selected, I'm just going to hit slice. And what you're going to see is Idea Maker is going to prompt us and ask, hey, do you want to turn on a raft? And what a raft is raft actually serves two purposes. One, it will account for the little bit of offset between the surface of the build plate and the printed object. The raft will compensate for that. So if you are like within 0.2 millimeters off, the raft will compensate for you. That's the first part. The second part, why we want to use a raft, is also because the raft helps prolong the longevity of the build tack surface on the build plate. So these are very good things. And it's relatively easy to take off the print after it's done. So you're going to see I have the print sliced here. And I'm going to show you what the raft actually looks like. So you're going to see this is what the raft actually looks like. So I'm going to bring it down to the layer where the raft is, right? So this is the raft. And you're going to see the Idea Maker is going to build it up, and then it's going to create the very first layer of the actual object. Okay, guys, so that concludes the mirror mode. Next, I'll talk a little bit about maintenance on the Raise3D E2. The maintenance is actually relatively easy on the Raise3D E2. All I recommend is lubricate the lead screw and lubricate the smooth rods as well as the linear rails on both the build plate as well as the hot end. Lubrication, usually lead screws, I recommend some type of grease. Lithium-based grease is good. And along the smooth rods, I recommend something like a sewing oil, sewing machine oil. That's pretty good, just to keep all the axes sort of moving smoothly, right? One last thing I'll talk about is, show you guys, is the camera. So what you're going to see is over here. So you're going to see this is the camera screen. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to check mark. By default, the camera is actually turned off. So if you want to use the webcam to see the printer in action while you're away by using their mobile app, you can turn on the camera here. And there you go. You can see the print while it goes. Okay?
Hi everyone, welcome back. So we have frequently asked questions on the E2 and E2CF. So let's get into it. So Michael, my first question is, what's the difference between the E2 and E2CF printer?
Yep. So the E2 is meant for more of your general purpose printing, everyday kind of stuff, whereas the E2CF is really geared towards printing with carbon fiber filaments. This means that it has upgraded hardened steel components, as carbon fiber filaments can be quite abrasive. It also comes with 2 filament dry boxes to make sure that those special filaments will stay dry.
Okay.
Pooja, do I need to use adhesives when printing on the E2CF?
Yeah, so for E2CF, you will be specifically printing with the CF materials. So it is recommended to use the glue stick so that you will yield better quality prints.
Okay.
So my next question, would you want to talk more about the software profiles that comes with the E2CF and the support material?
Yep. So the Raise3D Slicer Idea Maker has separate print profiles for both the E2 and the E2CF. Of course, with the E2CF, it'll have more profiles for carbon fiber materials, but it will also have profiles for supports to use with those materials. That way you can very easily print multi-material prints using those supports, so you can print your very complicated parts with intricate geometries. Pooja, what kind of maintenance does the printer kind of need?
So for the E2, you would need a basic cleaning of the build plate. So make sure that the build plate has been cleaned, does not have any residues or the filaments left on the build plate, and also make sure you keep your printer dry, clean. And also the nozzle cleaning is recommended with the help of the brush. And if you're using something like a carbon fiber material or 2 different materials, then it is always recommended to clean your nozzles before giving a new print.
Okay.
Yeah. So my next question is, what's the warranty on these printers?
Yep. So the E2 and E2CF both come with a 1-year manufacturer's warranty. If you have any issues, you can bring the printer to us. Even if you're out of the warranty period, we are a authorized repair center, so we can help you without any issues. Pooja, speaking of, do we have spare parts such as nozzles, tubes, build plates for these printers?
Yeah, so as resellers for the Raise3D printers here in Canada, so we provide all these replacement and the consumables that needed for the printer available at any time you need. Yeah. And my last question is, whom should we or the customer reach out to when they have any issues with the printer? Is it either we or Raise3D?
They can always reach out to us if they have any issues at all. We have a team of in-house technical support, so they can reach out at support@shop3d.ca. Well, that's all of our questions. So next, we'll kick it back to Ken to finish it off.
So I hope you've learned a lot about the E2 and E2CF from Raise3D. Right now, we actually have a special deal going on. For the rest of Q4 2024, the E2CF and the E2 are actually on sale. The E2 normally sells for $47.50 Canadian, but right now you can get $2,000 off at $27.50. Supplies are limited, so make sure you jump on this deal as soon as you can. Now, there's also a discount on the E2CF as well, and that's almost a $3,000 discount. So whichever version you choose, you're going to be getting a huge discount on these 2 printers right now. If you have any questions or want to deep dive into your application specifically, please contact us directly at sales@shop3d.ca or just give our team a call. My name is Ken, and thank you for joining us for this webinar.